And a great Friday afternoon to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. You're looking at the eastern half of the country and a cold front moving on through. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Well, currently we have a cold front that's moving on through, and you can see this frontal boundary with the wind shift here that's moving in. And it's roughly across central Vermont as we speak. Temperatures in the 60s this morning reached their daytime highs, and we're seeing advection of colder air working in, and those temperatures in the 40s and 50s the rest of this afternoon. They'll be dropping into the 40s and eventually a 32-degree reading, or even 30, during the overnight period later tonight and early Saturday morning. The last of the rain showers are working on through, and we're starting to see some skies start to break up. Little hints of sunshine now and then, and eventually this will be making it in here fairly late in the afternoon for a little bit of intervals of sunshine away from the mountains today. Let's take a look at the models. Looking at temperatures here on the HRRR model, and you can see those temperatures advecting into the region and lowering as the day progresses, and keeping an eye on that colder night tonight. This is 11 o'clock or so. This will be midnight. And then finally we're looking at about 4 o'clock in the morning. And in terms of cloud cover, 3 o'clock this afternoon. 8 o'clock this evening. And we get toward 2, that's 3, and here's 4 o'clock in the morning. Broadening the scope out a little bit here, this is the cold front moving on through. And we have high pressure that's going to build in from Canada, and this is it sort of straddling our region. A little bit of a warm frontal genesis that'll take place Saturday night, Sunday morning with some high clouds, but it's not until really during the day on Sunday we start to see a little bit of precipitation work on in, mostly widely scattered, and then a sharper cold front, and this brings some decent precipitable water amounts and squeezes that front and narrows the band. And as it moves on through, it looks like potential for moderate to locally heavy rainfall, especially northern Vermont. The good news is that we have this elongated area of higher pressure that then settles in. This is valid in the morning hours on Tuesday. This ridge is all the way back here, and so the net effect is that we're going to continue to see a band of higher pressure that's going to control our weather for the good portion of the late part of next week, Tuesday through Thursday. The caveat is this little shortwave trough right here, and look at the thickness pattern. What does that indicate? This is some seriously cold air that's moving into Canada. And this may make it into the region here on Thursday night with a weak passage of a frontal system. So maybe Thursday may be affected by this. We just don't know yet. Now, of most concern, this is valid 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, is a little bit of a marginal gradient wind, and we're seeing some wind gusts up at the upper summits around J Peak, 50 miles per hour, and some gusty winds, of course, in the channeling in the Champlain Valley. Some of the WRF model has been picking up on channeling winds throughout the Champlain Valley starting Sunday afternoon, continuing off and on into the day on Monday. And this is associated with a cold front. So I'm running the European model here. This is valid 8 o'clock in the morning. And notice 43 mile per hour wind gust at Burlington, for example. So we're talking marginal, nothing major here. And then those winds begin to slacken off very slowly as we get into really about 8 o'clock on Monday evening. Okay, the GEFS or GFS ensemble. What we're looking at here is the next precipitation. We have dry weather that's going to be through Saturday and into Saturday night, and then we start to see a little bit of an uptick here in terms of precipitation, just some lighter shower activity. A little bit of a downtick where it exits out of the region. And then the main issue is going to be this cold front on Monday. This is basically Sunday night into Monday according to the GFS ensemble. The European is pretty close to agreement, maybe just a hair later. And then once that frontal system moves on by, this is the one that could bring us some gradient winds I just showed you. And it looks like we're looking at a pretty nice stretch here overall. There's some plumes are indicating that something maybe, but more than likely not. And we're going to have probably 2, if not maybe 3, maybe 3.5, 4 days of dry weather. We'll see what happens. Nothing to see in the tropics, and we'll just cross our fingers. Nothing will get form in a position that may affect us here. So to summarize again, utility impacts this period little to none, with marginally strong gradient winds that'll move in mostly in the Champlain Valley Sunday afternoon, and the rest of the state on Monday with a cold frontal passage of shifting wind gusts. Some potential for briefly moderate to heavy rainfall associated with that same cold front. Good project weather develops with high pressure redeveloping for Tuesday into Thursday, but colder weather on the way with temperatures in the upper 30s to 40s for daytime highs and 20s generally at night into the lower 30s. And the tropics continue all quiet through this week, possibly the end of the season affecting North America. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.